Jay here. Welcome to Intermediate Guitar, Chapter 18. We're going to keep exploring our major 7 chords and our minor 7 chords. Today we're going to look at the keys of G major and E minor. Okay, now let's start off with G major 7 chords. We're going to be using some of the same shapes we used from our last chapter. These are all movable shapes for the most part. So for our G major 7 chords, you're going to see an F sharp in there, and that's the 7th note of the G major scale. That's what's going to give it that major 7 sound. First one's going to be with the root on the low 6th string. I'm going to have my index finger on the 3rd fret 6th string, skipping the 5th string. I'm going to have my ring finger on the 4th fret 4th string. Pinky's got the 4th fret 3rd string. Middle finger has the 3rd fret 2nd string. And then I'm going to mute my 5th string with my index, and then kind of with the skin of your hand, you can mute the 1st string or just cut it off on the 2nd string. Totally movable shape, so if I take it up 2 frets, now it's an A major 7. Okay, now I'm going to give you a handful of G major 7s. The next one's going to be the D string root shape. So I've got my index finger on the 5th fret 4th string, and then my ring finger is going to bar the 7th frets on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string. I'm going to avoid my 5th and 6th string. Okay, the next one's going to be your open G major 7. There's a couple different ways to do this one. This is one I like a lot. Just use your middle finger to get the 6th fret. On the 6th string, you're going to mute the 5th string, have open 4th string, open 3rd string, ring fingers on the 3rd fret 2nd string, and then index gets the 2nd fret 1st string. Okay, now up to our 10th position, let's do our 5th string bar chord. Now I'm going to have my index on the 10th fret 5th string, ring finger's got the 12th fret 4th string, middle finger has the 11th fret 3rd string, pinky gets the 2nd fret 2nd string, and then barring to get the 10th fret on the 1st string with my index, and then muting my low 6th string. Okay, now, based off of that same G on our 10th fret on the 5th string, here's another cool shape, and this relates to the open C major 7 chord. Okay, now if I do the fretted concept for this, I'm going to use my pinky to get the 10th fret on the 5th string, ring finger has the 9th fret on the 4th string, and then I'm going to bar and get the 7th frets on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string. And then you could just avoid your low 6th string. Now for our E minor 7, first of all, let's talk about a minor 7th chord. It's going to be a minor chord with an added flat 7th in there. So our E minor 7 chords are going to have the note D in there. Okay, let's start off with the 5th string minor 7 bar chord. It's basically just like a minor bar chord without your pinky. So I've got my index finger on the 7th fret 5th string, ring fingers on the 9th fret 4th string, barring to get the 7th fret on the 3rd string, middle finger gets the 8th fret on the 2nd string, and then barring to get the 7th fret on the 1st string with my index. And then making contact to mute my low 6th string with my index. Totally movable shape too. Okay, now for the D string minor 7 chord, I'm going to have my index finger on the 2nd fret 4th string, pinky's got the 4th fret 3rd string, and then middle has the 3rd fret 2nd string, ring has the 3rd fret 1st string. And I'm just going to avoid my low 2 strings. Okay, one more chord. Let's just do the open position E minor 7. Just think of an E minor chord without your ring finger, or having the open D string ringing if you prefer to play it with your index finger, but I'm just going to have my middle finger on the 2nd fret on the 5th string, and then everything else is open. This chapter strum pattern is going to feature some 8th notes and also 2 beats with the rhythm we've been working on. It's going to have the 16th note, the 8th note, and another 16th note. So for the first 2 beats, we'll have 8th notes. You could just do 2 down strums, and the box without a bottom is the symbol for a down strum, and an arrow pointing down is an up strum. On beats 3 and 4, we're going to have the rhythm of 3E and 4E and that's going to be a 16th note, an 8th note, and another 16th note. Now for strumming, you can just keep your down ups going, but just make contact on the first two notes. That'll be your down up, miss that next down strum on the end of the beat, and then resume making contact on the or that last up strum for beats 3 and 4. Now here's the pattern without a chord. 1 and 2 and 3E, a 4E, a 1 and 2 and 3E, a 4E, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'll just be playing each of these one time, but I recommend repeat them all 8 to 12 times and check out your different tempos, slow, medium, and fast. Okay, grab your G major 7. Let's go 4 bars with that pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 E, a 4 E, a. Okay, I recommend to incorporate a metronome. I'm going to have my click at 60 beats a minute, and here's number 1 with the metronome. 1 and 2 and 3 E, a 4 E, a. Okay, for number 2, we're going to go 4 bars of E minor 7 with that pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 E, a 4 E, a. Here's number 2 a little faster. 1 and 2 and 3 E, a 4 E, a. Okay, for number 3, we're going to go 8 bar progression with 4 bars of G major 7 into 4 bars of E minor 7. 1 and 2 and 3 E, a 4 E, a. Okay, for number 4, we're going to go 2 bars of G major 7 into 2 bars of E minor 7. 1, 2, 3 E, a 4 E, a. For number 5, we're going to go 1 bar of G major 7 into 1 bar of E minor 7, and then repeat that again for bars 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 E, a 4 E, a. Okay, for the next numbers, we're going to incorporate some chords from previous chapters along with some rhythms that we've talked about. For number 6, we're going to start off with the G major 7. We'll go normal pattern for the first bar. On bar 2, we'll have normal pattern for the first 2 beats and then a half note rest for beats 3 and 4. We won't play anything. We're going to switch it to an A minor 7 for bar 3, and we're going to have a half note rest starting that third bar with nothing for the first 2 beats. We'll resume our pattern for beats 3 and 4, and then we'll have normal pattern on bar 4. For your A minor 7, I'm going to be playing my bar chord based off of the 6th string on the 5th fret. So I've got my index finger on that 5th fret. Ring finger is on the 5th fret. Ring finger is on the 7th fret 5th string, and then barring to get the 5th frets on the 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string. A minor 7. Okay, here comes number 6. 1 and 2 and 3 E, a 4 E, a. Rest, 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 rest. Okay, for number 7, we're going to start off with an E minor 7. We'll have normal pattern for bar 1. On bar 2, we're going to do a whole note. That's a chord lasting for 4 beats. On bar 3, we're going to have a whole note rest. We won't play anything for that whole bar, and then we'll switch it to a D major with normal pattern for bar 4. For D major, I'm just doing my major bar chord on the 5th string. So I've got my index on the 5th fret 5th string, ring fingers barring to get the 7th frets on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string, and then I'm going to make contact and mute my 1st and 6th string. Okay, here comes number 7. 1 and 2 and 3 E, a 4 E, a 2, 3, 4, rest, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for number 8, we're going to have an 8-bar progression. We're going to start off with G major 7, normal pattern on bar 1 with the quarter note rest on beat 4, normal pattern for bar 2. We'll switch it to a C major 7. For bar 3, we'll have a quarter note rest on that first beat of bar 3, and then we'll get back to our normal pattern for bar 4. Switch it to a D minor on bar 5. We'll have normal pattern but with a quarter note rest on beat 2. Bar 6 is normal pattern. We're going to switch it to an F on bar 7, and we'll have normal pattern but with a quarter note rest on beat 3, and then normal pattern on bar 9. For C major 7, I'm going to be doing the C major bar chord based off of the 5th string for this, and I've got my index finger on the 3rd fret 5th string, ring fingers on the 5th fret 4th string, middle fingers on the 4th fret 3rd string, pinky is on the 5th fret 2nd string, and then barring to get the 3rd fret on the 1st string, and muting my low 6th string. For your D minor, I'm going to be doing a minor bar chord off of the 5th string. So I've got my index on the 5th fret 5th string, ring fingers on the 7th fret 4th string, pinkies on the 7th fret 3rd string, middles on the 6th fret 2nd string, and then barring to get the 5th fret on the 1st string. And then for F, I'm just going to be doing my major bar chord off of the 6th string. So I've got my index on the 1st fret 6th string, ring fingers on the 3rd fret 5th string, pinkies on the 3rd fret 4th string, middle finger gets the 2nd fret 3rd string, and then barring to get the 1st frets on the 1st and 2nd string. Okay, I'm going to use a metronome for number 8. 1, 2, 3 E, a 4 E, a. Rest. Start off with an E minor 7. We're going to have a whole note tied to a half note. It means that we're going to ring out a whole note for the whole first bar, let it keep ringing through the first 2 beats of bar 2, and then we'll resume our pattern. We'll switch it to an A7 with normal pattern on bar 3, and then on bar 4, normal pattern but with a half note rest for the last 2 beats. For A7, I'm doing my 6th string dominant 7 shape. I've got my index finger on the 5th fret 6th string, ring fingers on the 7th fret 5th string, barring to get the 5th fret on the 4th string, middle finger's got the 6th fret 3rd string, and then barring to get the 5th frets on the 1st and 2nd string with my index. Okay, here comes number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Rest, rest. Here comes number 9 a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Rest, rest. Okay, for this chapter scales, we're going to talk about the keys of G major and E minor. Okay, now both of these keys relate to each other. E minor is the relative minor to G major and vice versa. Now, every major key has a relative minor, and every minor key has a relative major, and they're all going to have the same notes, but we can just look at it from 2 different perspectives, and it also helps us map out the neck for guitar. I use it all the time. Okay, now, first of all, let's talk about the notes. For our G major scale, we're going to have a G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and then back to a G. Now, for number 1A, we're just going to play our G major scale in our 2nd position. I'm going to give you a couple lead-up notes. Open 6th string to our 2nd fret. On the 6th string, okay, now we're going to get to our note G on the 3rd fret. We'll go 3, 5. On the 5th string, it's going to be a 2, 3, 5. 4th string is a 2, 4, 5. 3rd string is a 2, 4, 5. 2nd string is the 3 to 5. On the 1st string, we'll go 2, 3, 5, 7. And our 3rd fret is our 2nd octave G. We're just climbing up 2 notes higher than that. To descend it, we're going to go down. We'll go 5, 3, 2, 1st string. 5 to 3 on your 2nd string. 5, 4, 2 on your 3rd string. 5, 4, 2 on your 4th string. 5, 3, 2 on your 5th string. And then 5, 3 takes us down to a G. And if we want to go all the way down, we'll go 2 to open. Okay, now I recommend to work our 4 basic rhythms: quarter notes, eighth note triplets, and 16th notes. I'm going to do some quarter notes to start off. I'm going to start right on the note G, and I'll just do each note one time. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to incorporate my metronome for the next rhythms. For eighth notes, you could do 1 on each note or 2 on each note. I'm going to do 1 on each note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. For eighth note triplets, you could do 3 on each note or just 1 on each note. I'm going to do 1 on each note. 1, 2, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. For 16th notes, you could do 1 on each note or 4 on each note. I'm going to do 1 on each note. 1, 2, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Incorporate our new rhythm. It's going to sound like this: 1 E, a 2 E, a 3 E, a 4 E, a. And I'm going to recommend you could pick them all down, or you could do a down, up, down. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to start off with all down picks, and I'm going to do 1 octave G major scale with that rhythm, and I'm going to play it with a click. 1, 2, 3 E, a 4 E, a. Okay, for number 2A, we're going to talk about the E minor scale. Don't forget, these are all still the same notes as our G major, so we're still basically playing G major. And for this, we're going to target our open position E minor. Okay, now here's our notes. It's going to be an E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D to an E. You'll notice that same notes. And on our 6th string, we're going to start off open 2, 3. 5th string is an open 2, 3. 4th string is an open 2, 4. 3rd string is an open 2. 2nd string is an open 1, 3. And then 1st string is an open 2, 3. Coming back down, 2 to open. 3, 1 open 2nd string. 2 open 3rd string. 4, 2 open 4th string. 3, 2 open 5th string. And then 3, 2 open 6th string. I'm just going to be doing quarter notes for these, but I do recommend also work your other basic rhythms. Okay, here comes number 2A. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for number 2B, we're going to incorporate our new rhythm. I'm going to be picking these down, up, down, and here is 1 octave E minor scale. 1, 2, 3 E, a 4 E, a. Okay, for numbers 3 and 4, we're going to connect our 2 positions. Now for number 3, I'm just going to start off on my 6th string, play the lowest note up to the highest note on this particular string with these 2 positions. So I'm going to go on 6th string, open 2, 3, 5, 3, 2. On the 5th string, we're going to go open 2, 3, 5, 3, 2. For C, we're going to go on the 4th string, open 2, 4, 5, 4, 2. For 4A, on the 3rd string, open 2, 4, 5, 4, 2. For B, on the 2nd string, we're going to go open 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. And then for C, on the 1st string, we're going to go open 2, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 2. Okay, for number 5, we're going to connect our 2 positions. We're going to ascend in the 2nd position, take it up to our highest note on the high E string. We'll backtrack it all the way down to our lowest note on the 1st string, and then descend in our open position. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6, we're going to ascend in our open position, take it up to the highest note on the first string, and then descend in our second position. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for part 2 of our scales, now we're going to do a similar concept, but we're going to be exploring higher up on our neck. So we're going to target our 9th position for our G major scale, and then our 7th position for our E minor scale. Okay, first of all, let's go ahead and do our G major scale up in the 9th position. We're going to start off with 2 lead up notes. It's going to be 10 to 12 on the 6th string, and then take it to your 9th fret on the 5th string, and then once we get to our 10th fret, that'll be the note G. Okay, now from here we'll go to our 12th fret. On your 4th string, it's going to be a 9, 10, 12. 3rd string is a 9, 11, 12. 2nd string is a 10, 12, 13. And on your 1st string, it's going to be a 10, 12, 14, 15. And here's your 2nd octave G. Taking it back down, 14, 12, 10. 2nd string, 13, 12, 10. 3rd string, 12, 11, 9. 4th string, 12, 10, 9. On your 5th string, if you just go 12 to 10, that'll take you down to your G. And we'll keep going all the way down 9th fret, and then on your 6th string, 12 to 10. Okay, I'm going to play this scale just up and down with quarter notes. I definitely recommend work your other basic rhythms too. I'm going to start right on the note G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're going to put our new rhythm on this G major scale. I'm going to go 1 octave. 1, 2, 3 E, a 4 E, a. Okay, for number 2A, let's take a look at our 7th position E minor scale. Going to give some lead up notes on the 6th string. It's going to be a 7, 8, 10. Once we get to our 7th fret on the 5th string, that's our note E. From here, we'll go up to our 9th and 10th fret. On the 4th string, it's going to be a 7, 9, 10. 3rd string is a 7, 9. 2nd string is a 7, 8, 10. And on the 1st string, it's a 7, 8, 10, 12. And here's my 2nd octave E right there. Coming back down, 10, 8, 7. 2nd string is a 10, 8, 7. 3rd string is a 9 to 7. 4th string is a 10, 9, 7. Coming down to an E would be a 10, 9, 7 on the 5th string. And then all the way down on the 6th string would be a 10, 8, 7. Okay, I'm just going to play quarter notes off of the note E. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for 2B, we're going to incorporate our new rhythm. This is a 1 octave E minor scale. 1, 2, 3 E, a 4 E, a. For number 3 and 4, we're going to connect our 2 positions on 1 string. Okay, here's number 3A on the 6th string. I'm going to go 7, 8, 10, 12, 8. For B, on the 5th string, we're going to go 7, 9, 10, 12, 8. For C, on the 4th string, we're going to go 7, 9, 10, 12, 9, 7. On the 3rd string, for 4A, we're going to go 7, 9, 11, 12, 11, 9. For B, on the 2nd string, we're going to go 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, 12, 10, 8. And then for C, on the 1st string, we're going to go 7, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 14, 12, 10, 8. Okay, for number 5, we're going to ascend in our 9th position, take it up to the highest note on the 1st string, take it down on the 1st string, and then descend in the 7th position. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. number 6, we're going to ascend in the 7th position, take it up to the highest note on the 1st string, and then descend in 9th position. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and jam on a G major 7 chord and run some scales. We can play any of those scales we just played in any of those positions. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some chords, some scales. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to jam on an E minor chord this time, E minor 7 chord, and do some scales. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some chords, some scales. Okay, for this chapter study, we're going to talk about some double stops and some triple stops. Triple stops is just another way to say 3 notes at once. Double stops would be 2 notes ringing at the same time. Once we're doing like a triple stop, we're basically doing like a small chord too. We could think of it that way. But these are going to be some fun riffs and some cool guitar terminology and vocabulary that's been handed down. I'm going to repeat these a bunch, get inside of them. Okay, now for number 1, I'm going to be doing a hammer-on, starting off with barring my 3rd frets on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string with my index, and I'm just going to use my middle finger to hammer on the 3rd string on the 4th fret. Okay, for number 1 beat, I'm going to start off with 5th frets on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. I'm going to use my ring finger, and then I'm going to do that same hammer-on concept. Hammering on to the 4th fret on the 3rd string. Okay, for number C, we're going to start off with that same hammer-on concept. I'm going to go up to my 5-5-5 on the same strings, and then I'm going to slide up to a 7 and a 6 on my 3rd and 2nd string. I'm going to use my middle and my index finger. It's going to be a little bluesy slide at the end. Okay, here's C. Okay, for D, we're going to descend that similar concept, starting off with 7 and 6 on the 3rd and 2nd string. 5-5-5 into the hammer-on. Okay, for number 2, we're going to take some of these similar licks into the key of A now. For A, it's going to be based off of our 5th fret now. And I'm going to bar my 5th frets on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string with my index, and then hammer onto my 6th fret on the 3rd string with my middle. It's that same lick. But now we're in A. For 2B, we're going to do some thirds. We're going to have our 5th fret on the 2nd string and our 3rd fret on the 1st string. I'm using my ring and my index for this, so it's kind of like this sound. We're going to start off with that same double stop. It's a 5 and a 3 with my 2nd and 1st string. We're going to backtrack down to my 3rd and 2nd frets. Same 2 strings. Now we're going to do a hammer-on. I'm going to have my open 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string. And I'm going to hammer on to my 2nd fret on the 2nd string. So here's C. Start off with second frets on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. I'm going to use my pinky to get the 5th fret on the 1st string while I've got my 2nd frets on the 2nd and 3rd string. And I'm going to slide up into an A7 chord. This is going to be 2nd frets on the 2nd and 3rd string and 3rd fret on the 1st string. Here's D. For number 3, we're going to take it to the key of E. Okay, the first one's going to be your open 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. We're going to hammer on the 1st fret on the 3rd string. You could use your middle or your index for this. Okay, for B, I'm going to do a double stop where I'm going to slide up to my 5th fret on the 2nd string and then hit my open E string unison. And then hit the open E string twice. Now I'm going to slide down to my 3rd fret. And again, hit my open string after that. Here comes B. Okay, for C, we're going to slide up to the 4th fret on the 3rd string and the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. You could use your middle and your index for that. I'm going to go to 2nd frets on the 3rd and 2nd string. I'm going to bar that with my index. And then we're going to go to that hammer on the 1st fret on the 3rd string with our open 2nd and 1st string ringing. Here's C. The last one, for D, we're gonna have an 8th fret on the 2nd string with my 7th fret on the 1st string. I'm gonna use my middle and my index for this. Okay, now I'm gonna start to bend my 8th fret on the 2nd string while I'm still holding that 7th fret on the 1st string. And then landing up on the 12th frets on the 2nd and 1st string. Here comes D. Okay, for number 4, we're going to go to G minor, and we're going to start off with a triple stop. We're going to have our 3rd frets on the 2nd and 3rd string. I'm barring with my index, and then with my pinky, I'll get the 6th fret on the 1st string. Okay, now backtrack it to the 5th fret on the 1st string. I'm going to use my ring finger, and then we're going to slide into the 3rd frets on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string. And that's like a G minor chord right there. So here's A. We're going to start off 3rd frets on the 2nd and 3rd string with my index. I'm going to go to 5 and 5 on the same 2 strings with my ring. And I'm going to bend both these notes at the same time. And I'm just using my ring finger to get both those notes. And these feel good to bend downward too. You can experiment with bending them up, but they seem to really work well bending down. Okay, for C, we're going to start off 11 and 10 on the 2nd and 1st string. We're going to come down to an 8-8 on the same 2 strings. And then down to a mini G minor chord. This is going to be a 7, 8, and 6 on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string. And for D, we're going to do a slide from the 1st frets on the 2nd and 1st string up to the 3rd frets on the same 2 strings, and then back down to the 1st fret. And then we'll end with 3rd frets on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. Okay, here's D. We're going to take it to A minor. It's going to start off with a hammer on our 2nd string to the 1st fret from an open string, and I'm going to have my 2nd fret on the 3rd string ringing. So this is this sound. Okay, now I'm going to come up to my 4th and 3rd fret on the same 2 strings, and then I'll slide up to the 5th frets on the first 3 strings, all with my index. Okay, here's A. I'm going to be barring my 5th frets with my index on the 3rd and 2nd string. With my pinky, grab the 8th fret on the 1st string. Then I'll just go to a 5-5-5, same 3 strings. Okay, now with my pinky, now I'm going to grab the 8th fret on the 2nd string while I'm holding my 5th fret on the 3rd string. And then resolving to just 5th frets on the 3rd and 2nd string. Okay, here's B. Okay, for C, we're going to slide up to the 8th frets on the 2nd and 1st string. I'm just going to use my index finger. My I'm going to hit it 2 more times, take it up to 10-10, same strings, and then it'll end on a 13-12. It's kind of like a small A minor up here. Here comes C. Okay, for D, we're going to start off 5th fret on the 2nd string, 3rd fret on the 1st string. We'll hit it twice. Take it to a 1st fret and open, same 2 strings. And then we'll end off with hammering on the 2nd fret on the 3rd string while we're holding the 1st fret on the 2nd string. And that's that last hammer on right there. Okay, here's D. Number 6, we're going to take it to E minor. First one's going to start off open 2nd string with the open 1st string twice. We'll go to our 3rd and 2nd string, 4th and 3rd fret 2 times, and then open 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string. Here's A. Okay, for B, we're going to start off with the 8th fret on the 2nd string and our 7th fret on the 1st string. We'll hit that 3 times. And then we'll take it down to our 3rd fret on the 2nd string with the open 1st string. We'll hit that 3 times. And then ending with 4th fret on the 3rd string with the 5th fret on the 2nd string. And we'll have our open 1st string ringing all at the same time, and we'll hit that 3 times. So this will be kind of like a triplet riff. Here comes B. Okay, for C, now we're going to go up to our 11th fret on the 2nd string with our 10th fret ringing on the 1st string. And we're going to go up to our 12th fret from there on the 2nd string while we're still holding that 10th fret on the 1st string. So here's the concept. It's going to be a little bluesy lick. Okay, now once we get to that 12th fret, we'll hit that 3 times. And then we'll go back to the 11th fret on the 2nd string and then back to the 12th fret. So we're always holding the 10th fret on the 1st string, and we're going to tug around a little bit with the 11th and 12th frets. Okay, so here's C. Okay, for D, we're going to start off with our open first 3 strings. We'll go to 2 open 2, same strings, 4 open 3, back to 2 open 2, and then resolve it where we started with all open strings. Okay, here's D. Okay, for part 2 of the study, we're going to continue on with our double stops and triple stops. Let's go ahead and look at number 1. This is going to be some G major 7 riffs. On A, we're going to start off with the open 3rd string, and we'll have our 3rd fret on the 2nd string with our 2nd fret on the 1st string. We'll hit it twice. Release it to the open 1st string, still holding the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. And then it'll end with our 3rd fret on the 1st string, still holding that 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Here's A. B, we're going to start off 7th fret 2nd string with our 5th fret on the 1st string. We'll take it up to a 12 and a 10, same strings, and then back down to that 7-5. Okay, here's B. Okay, for C, we're going to be using our 2 middle strings. We'll have open, open, 2, 2, 4, 4, back down to 2, 2, and then we'll end off with the open 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. Okay, here comes C. We're going to slide up to a G major shape. This is going to be the 11th fret on the 3rd string, 12th fret on the 2nd string, and then 10th fret on the 1st string. We're basically playing the high notes of our G major 7 chord. Okay, once we slide up to it, we'll hit it twice, and we'll resolve it down to our 7th frets on the first 3 strings. Okay, here's D. Okay, for number 2, we're going to target an A major 7. First one's going to start off with your 2nd frets on the 2nd and 3rd string, along with your open 1st string. Okay, next note's going to be your 2nd frets on all 3 1st strings. And then we're going to end off with a major 7 shape. This is the 4th fret on the 1st string with the 2nd frets on the 2nd and 3rd string. And I'm going to use my ring finger with my index to bar it, and I'm going to slide into that last chord. Okay, here's A. Okay, for 2B, we're going to hold down our 5th fret on the 2nd string. We're going to have the 4th fret on the 1st string for the first one. Now we'll switch to our 7th fret on the 1st string. Now to our 5th fret on the 1st string. And I'll end it off with the 6th fret on the 3rd string and the 5th fret on the 2nd string, which is like a small A major chord. So here's B. Okay, for C, we're going to start off barring our 9th frets on the 3rd and 2nd string. Now we go to the 10th fret on the 2nd string, still holding down our 9th fret on the 3rd string. Back down to our 9-9, and then we'll end off 9-9-9 on the first 3 strings. Here's C. Major 7 shape. This is our 6 frets on the 4th and 3rd string, along with our 5th fret on the 2nd string. I'm using my middle ring and index. Okay, now from here we'll take it down, same strings, to the 4-4-3, to a 2-1-2. That's another A major 7 right there. So this would be like this. For number 3, we're going to target an E major 7. We're going to start off with some double stops. We're going to have our 4th fret on the 2nd string, 2nd fret on the 1st string. We'll go up to a 5 and a 4. Same string, 7 and a 7. And then we'll end off with 4-4-4 on your 3 high strings. Okay, here's A. Okay, for B, we're going to start off with an E major 7 chord. It's going to be the 8th fret on the 3rd string, 9th fret on the 2nd string, and 7th fret on the 1st string. Okay, now we're going to hit this 3 times. Take it up to a 9-9-11 on the same strings, which is another E major 7 chord, and then back to the first chord. Okay, here's B. Okay, for C, we're going to have some open ringing first string. We're going to have our 5th fret on the 2nd string twice. Take it down to your 4th fret on the 2nd string. Still got the open first string ringing, and then open, open. And then we'll end it on 1st fret 3rd string with our first 2 open strings. That's like an E major chord. Okay, here's C. Okay, for D, we're going to slide up into our 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. It's going to be a 9-8-9. This is like an E major 7 chord. And then from here, we'll take it down to a 6-6-7. I'm using my index to bar 2 notes, and then my middle, and then all the way down to a 4-4-5. Same strings. Okay, here's D. Okay, for number 4, we're going to go into a G minor concept. The first one's going to be the first 3 strings will go 3-3-3, 5-5-5, into a 7-6-6. I'm going to use my middle and bar with my index. Okay, here's A. And we'll slide into that last one. Okay, for B, we're going to slide into an 11-10 on our first 2 strings. Now we'll go to a 12-11 on the 3rd and 2nd string, and then ending with the 10-11, same 2 strings. Okay, here's B. Okay, for C, we're going to start off with our open 4th string, open 3rd string, and 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Now we'll take it to a 5-5-5, same strings, and then a 3-3-3, same strings. Here's C. Okay, for D, this is going to be a little smoke on the water vibe. It's going to be our middle strings. We'll go 3-3, open, open, 5-5, open, open, and then sliding up to an 8-7. Okay, here's D. We're going to target an A minor 7 sound. First one's going to be on your first 3 strings, 5-5-3, 5-5 open, 5-5-5, and then a 5-5-7. Okay, here's number A. we're going to go to our third and second string. We're going to slide up to a 9-8, to a 7-7, and then from here we're going to slide down to a 5-5. Okay, here's B. Okay, for C, we're going to start off with some thirds. We're going to do our 10th and 12th fret on the second and first string, down to an 8-10, to a 5-5, and sliding down to a 3-3. Okay, here's C. Okay, for D, we're going to do a double bend, 7th frets on the third and second string. I'm going to use my ring finger, and then we'll resolve that to the 5th frets on those same two strings. For number 6, we're going to go into an E minor 7 concept. First one's going to be an E minor triad. This is going to be our 9th fret on the 3rd string, 8th fret 2nd string, and then 7th fret 1st string. We'll take this to a 7-7-5, same strings, and then to a 4-5-3, which is an E minor triad. Okay, here's A. Start off on the 3rd and 2nd string. We'll go 4 and 3. Opens, 2 and a 2, both open, and then landing on 2nd fret 4th string with the open 3rd string, little mini E minor chord right there. Okay, here's B. Okay, for C, we're going to start off on the first two strings. We'll go 8 and 7, and then we'll slide up from 10-10 to 12-12. Okay, here's C. Okay, for D, we're going to start off on our 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. We're going to have a 5-4-5, which is an E minor. Now we'll go up to our 7-7-7 on the same strings, and then we'll slide into that same first chord again. Okay, here's D. All right, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you for chapter 19. Take care.